Yo, what's up guys, it's NLW here, back again with another video. Something a little bit different. Basically what I'm doing is kind of overhauling the arena. So this is what this is. It's kind of a behind the scenes thing. I figured you guys on NLW Figs would appreciate something that's a little bit more, you know, behind the curtain, so to speak, of NLW. And you know, there's been a lot going on recently. I've had a bit of a crisis of confidence in NLW and its sort of overall presentation. So I really wanted to ramp it up because there's elements of this. Obviously, it's improved a lot since I first began, but there's elements of this arena which I think could be much improved, like this tape over the I don't know what you call it, the LED screens. I want to get rid of. Put new blue on this part for the NLW shows that isn't, you know, all taped up and banged up. And I figured, yeah, I could introduce a new arena for NLW 100, but that's still a long time away, and I wanted to update it a little bit earlier, so that's what this video is going to be. But before we get into it, please like the video, helps get the channel out there. Also subscribe if you haven't already, but yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So at the moment, we've got this set up on like this table here, so it's only a temporary thing. I'm not going to be living here for too much longer, so I don't want to have a permanent setup. But I also want it to have the flexibility that if I do need to take it down, I can do so pretty quickly because, you know, other people in the house need to use the table and, you know, it can't just be NLW Studios in here. So this needs to be durable in terms of, and flexible, I should say, in terms of being able to take it off the table and set it up again quickly. That's why the setup is as it is at the moment. You've got the cardboard at the bottom here. I want to get some poster board as like a ring mat or maybe like a gym mat, but unfortunately it's Easter at the moment that I'm recording this, so all the stores are closed. But we'll make do for what we've got at the moment. I think for NLW 100, that'll be the point where it's a complete overhaul. But right now, we'll just make some minor tweaks and just get the arena looking pretty good. At the moment, I'm just filming Raw, so that's why this setup is here at the moment. But I'll put the stage on, and I might even add a little bit of a crowd, we'll see. I'm not sure, but there are, again, things like the barriers. I think the barricade on this is actually decent with the VHS tapes. I like the setup of it. I did look on ringside, but that barrier, man, $45. I don't think I'm going to be paying it for just, you know, a barricade. Even though it does look decent. I mean, I guess I could put some poster board on here and make it look more like a barricade. But again, I want that versatility that I can take it off when I need to. So that's going to be an issue. There's also going to be the issue of trying to connect these two and making the arena look you know, a decent size. I want to get like a poster board for like the background here and not have this as part of the arena, maybe make a longer thing, especially as I'm heading into WrestleMania next year, WrestleMania 5 I want to make. So I want to have a big arena for that. I also need a bigger table. So that's going to be all brought into my mind, and you know, just the cost of things building up. I don't make that much money, so it's difficult to invest too much without going into the red, so to speak. So that's going to be an issue. But I think overall, like, the presentation has improved, and I think just a couple of minor tweaks just to make sure that things are a little bit more polished, let's say, than they were before. I was trying to animate the arena of NLW through convenience rather than what it would look like on presentation, especially since I've got this new camera which I'm filming right here. I want to make the whole experience look and feel a little bit more updated, a little bit more professional. To kind of match the storytelling and the hype that I put into it and the effort I put into it, I want the presentation to look good, because it's all well and good, and this is just a tip for anyone filming a pick fed, you know, you can have good storylines and such, but the presentation needs to be good for it to be engaging. So I'd recommend getting like a big light, or maybe like, I know Spam Wrestling has a decent setup where he's got like 3-point lights, so he's got one at the top, one at the side, and one at the other side, and it gives a good lighting of the ring. So that might be something to invest in. I'd say lighting is the first point you'd want to think of. But again, like, even just like a solid black poster board would do your arena, in my opinion, and just have a couple of people in the crowd like that. And Wrestlistic as well has some good printouts available on his website, wrestlistic.com, and if you use the code NLW, you get 10% off there, so it's well worth a look in. So here's what we got now. Obviously, it doesn't look like a massive change, but what I've done is kind of curved the arena around. So whereas before it was just a rigid, straight line, now you can see side on, there's a tiny bit of a curve to give it more of an arena feel, and especially like over here, so it just goes around like that. And at the moment, I've placed the ring in the middle, and it looks fine, like from afar. Once I do a couple of tweaks to it, take the tape off of the top and replace it with something else, it's going to look a lot better. But for now, I think it's looking okay. I don't know whether to have the stage on this side or on this side, because on this side, I like that this one curves around a tiny little bit more, but at the same time, I want, maybe I want to highlight that by having the announce tables there and such, but I don't know. I'd rather get this in shot, and if the stage is covering it, you see what I mean. I'm going to try putting the stage on this side or this side. No, forget it. I'm going to put it on this side because otherwise it'll be too much of a jarring shift, I think. I've had the stage coming this way for a couple of months now, and I think if I'm going to change it all, I'm going to have the stage on this side with a bigger setup, but for now I'm just going to have the pop-up, the SmackDown pop-up, just come down this way. So it's not too much of a shift, but it's definitely an improvement in terms of overall presentation because there's going to be more space perhaps along this side than there would have been. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll put it down and show you what it's looking like. So here's what we're working with so far. As you can see, I feel like this is going to work better on this side of the stage because I've got the light and that can project onto the entrances, and I'm not really going to be using this side as much apart from like brawls and things. So I'll start off with this side. Obviously I'm going to put the NLW logo up there. This won't be what the stage is for the 100th episode. This is just for the next few episodes heading into that event. So we've got the stage obviously, and then there's a little bit more of a gap here because before the ramp would go underneath. And I should mention as well, I've placed like a box under here so when they stand on the stage it's more sturdy and they're not constantly falling over. So then we move on to the ring, and what I've done here, I've just tried to like glue bits of this down, but what I am going to do, probably going to get a new ring skirt for the 100th episode, so look out for that very soon. And then we've got the ring, and I've changed the ropes so they're a little bit more sturdy and not as loose as they were before, because it's been a while since I'd replaced them. So we've also got the card underneath, gives it a more clean feeling, and I've actually added myself. There I am, Cadclay in all his glory. There he is watching the action along with the Spanish commentator who, I don't know, what should we call him? El Galloway maybe? I don't know. But yeah, and they've got headsets on and they're at ringside, so it makes it a little bit more dynamic. Again, this is kind of a prototype for the 100th episode arena and the arena I'm going to be using going forward. Before we go on to anything, again, I've taken the top part off of this, so I'm not sure if I'm going to replace it with anything or if I'm just going to leave it red. I think I'll make this blue, cut some stuff out and stick it on, and then this, I might just leave it as is because you can't see it in the photos, but if I'm changing this, I might as well change that as well. I want to go and make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So it's kind of like the old arena, just a little bit more spaced out and more dynamic, and I think I will add some crowd members here. I don't know what I'm going to use to kind of lift them up, so we'll see. I'll experiment with some stuff and I'll get back to you. Alright, I'd say we're getting somewhere with it now, so I've put the new cardboard up and I think it looks a lot better. Basically what happened before was I taped it together and I had it in a bag. In fact, I'll show you what was actually in it. So it's just this, and it was like attached by tape, and that wasn't working at all. So what I did instead was just blue tacked each individual bit, so you can see that's one bit of card, that's one bit of card, and it's just packaging from wrestling figures that I kept because I thought it would look good for a set piece, so that's pretty cool. And maybe I'll get a printout in future, but for now I think it works quite well, especially when you like look at the arena as is and you don't really see the top part, so that's why I think I can maybe get away with not putting anything on the top bit here, but that might change, I'm not quite sure yet. Though I am thinking about putting the crowd in, so we've got Braun there, look at him standing, just chilling, and we've got a box full of figures that I don't really use, so I'm going to put a couple shirts on them, put them in the crowd. I might put a sign or two up, I'm not quite sure yet, but maybe I'll do a thing where I put fan signs in at some point, I'm not sure. I might include them here as well, just to make the crowd look a little bit more dynamic. That is what's going on at the moment though, so I'll do a couple more tweaks, put the crowd in, and then I'll show you what I've got. And now I think it's done. Yes, this is my arena, so I'll go for a quick tour for you guys. We'll start at the very top. I added these bits here. They're just one a piece, so it's not all connected together like it was before. It just means it's easier access to take them off and replace them, as well as also I didn't like the tape that I had on the old ones, so I think it's a little bit cleaner, looks a little bit neater. The ones on top, I have used the old ones that I did before. I might get a printout at some point with NLW ones, but for now I'm happy with that because like you don't really see it in photos. When you take photos you only really see this angle and you don't often see the tops like that, so that's fine for what it is. And I've just added a bit of black tape along there, and now we'll move on to the stage as well. Here I've taped the back of this so that this isn't leaning forward as much. It's the same stage as before. I'm going to make some alterations to it, for episode 100 though, and again, just got the cardboard box underneath that to stabilise it for the entrances. And now this is the main difference with this new arena. We actually have a crowd, so I've added a crowd looking at the entranceway and into the arena, so we've got a little pocket of wrestlers here, and I've just populated it with some old figures, some customs, and some shirts that I don't use, and then we'll move on and I'll show you who's in the crowd, just so you can kind of get a glimpse of what's going on. And right back here, we've got the front row, which they're just on the floor, and then I've actually added like a tiny bit of cardboard just under the back row, so they're raised up a bit and it creates a little bit of depth. I would like to get a new table that extends a little bit further back so that I can get that sort of sense of depth, maybe get some crowd a little bit higher up than this. But for now, I think it works. It's easy to take down. And as we move around, you can see more of the crowd. I tend to put the taller wrestlers at the back and then the shorter wrestlers at the front, so that it looks like there's a little bit of depth there. Again, like I said before, we need to get a bigger table first. And we've actually got commentators at ringside, so there I am. I'm not currently calling the action, I'm actually behind the camera, but there I am with my headset on, and beside me we've got my little Spanish colleague there, and we've got the chair at ringside, and on this side I've added a little ring bell on the podium and a chair as well, so I might put like a title belt here or something. And this back barrier, I actually ran out of the VHS tapes, so this is just black cardboard that I cut to act as a barricade, and it beats getting the one from ringside, which is like 45 quid, and I don't need it right now. I think I'm fine. But yeah, so we got the wrestlers in the crowd with the shirts and a little barrier there, and I'll just go a little bit behind there. I can't remember if I showed it already, but that's what it is. And then the ring, again, I've kind of blue tacked down. I think that I'm going to get a new ring skirt for the 100th episode, but we'll see. I'm quite happy with it at the moment, but this is just like a couple of minor tweaks that I'm doing, you know, making the arena look more important, more impactful. The one for episode 100, hopefully by that point, I'll have a more permanent stage or a more permanent place where I can have my set, where I don't have to take it down for other people. But for now, I think this is working. I like the setup. I think it looks a lot more professional. Who said pick feathers can't do presentation as well? There you go. And we've got, you know, the crowd and everything, really making NLW look good. So this setup will be here for between episodes 93 and 96 before the next pay-per-view, and then again between 97 and 99, and I'll try and make a new kind of stage. It'll be somewhat similar, elements of the old arena and elements of the new arena for episode 100. So the first time you'll see this arena setup will be, I believe, the 8th of May. That's when the next NLW episode will be out. For now, you're going to be enjoying Ungovernable on my channel and more. But for now, on this channel, like the video. It helps get the channel out there. For getting us to 1,000 subscribers, that is literally insane, and thank you so, so much. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 2,000 soon. So that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed this arena look and this arena tour, and I will catch you guys later.